Welcome to the Anything Goes podcast. I'm your host, Kombat AllStar.
What's up, guys? It's Random Girl.
It's very monotone, Random Girl.
I had an awesome intro before.
Yeah, we had
to do it over again.
Yeah, because she did it before I hit record. But anyway, today we're going to be talking about a voiceover strike. So I'll give
Kombat knows more about that than me. So.
And you know what? It's okay. I'll give you guys the details, and then we can kind of talk about it.
Sure.
So basically, what's happening is the voiceover actors, or is it voice actors?
Voice actors.
Voice actors have gone on strike because they want residuals. And if you guys don't know what residuals are, they're basically, if the movie does well, you get a certain cut of it, like 10% or 3% or whatever. Different stars have different residual contracts, but typically,
depending how big you are.
Yeah, depending on how big you are. So typically, when you make a movie, you get residual income from the movie based on the success, and they want the same thing for video games, and they haven't been getting them. And there's two kind of flip coins to this. The developers, the publishers have been saying, we're not going to give you residuals because your contribution to the game is so small in comparison to the developer who actually creates the music, not the music, but creates everything that has to do with the game, the assets, the modeling, the whole nine. So their contribution is a lot bigger than yours, and it would be unfair to pay you residuals when these guys don't get residuals. And that's like the whole argument. And a lot of the voice actors understand that, but they're all unionized, just like SAG. All the actors are unionized. So there's quite a few voice actors that understand that and don't care. But then there's a lot. Then there's the union that they're a part of. They want it anyway. So that's where we're kind of at. And last I checked on this story, there's a lot of games that are going to be delayed because of this. So now they're on strike, they're not working until they can come to some sort of agreement. And, in the past, the publishers have actually paid them more money to kind of, this has been an ongoing thing. So publishers have paid them more money to kind of quell them, but they still want residual income. So what do you think about that?
Like I said, I don't know too much about it to really comment on it.
Well, I just told you about it. Well, you can talk on it anyway.
I don't really know this. It's like situation. I don't know why they're fighting. Do they not get enough initial money to begin with for the video games?
Not really, but no one does. Only the publisher makes the big money.
Oh yeah.
So it's
and they would
yeah. So it's it is what it is. I kind of give my opinion on it because I guess I care more. But yeah, it's like it's hard because, okay, so on one hand, it's kind of good because the developers, or the publishers, I should say, I keep saying developers, but the publishers can actually hire voice actors that aren't a part of this union, and it gives a lot of people who haven't had a chance to shine. They can go up there and do it. But then you have games like Call of Duty. I think it was like the one before, the last Call of Duty, one before, where Kevin Spacey was a part. He was like the main bad guy in Call of Duty, and they even modeled his face after him and everything. And they kind of targeted their sales after, they kind of marketed him like he was the main person in the thing, right?
Okay, I have a question.
Go ahead.
What type of voice actors are complaining? The regular movie actors that, it probably is them, but the regular movie actors that decide to do voice acting, or the voice actors that have been doing voice acting for 20, 30 years, like the woman that you met.
Susan Eisenberg?
Yeah.
She is a part of that. That union. But I'm not sure if she agrees or disagrees with it. She doesn't really voice it that much.
So I'm just wondering what type of voice actors are complaining.
So
all of them?
No, not all of them. It's mostly the people that are, I guess for lack of a better word, the Hollywood voice actors. So the people that are the guy who's played Nathan Drake forever, or the person who plays Gears of War, the big money making games, and the actors that have been with those games for a long time and play multiple voices and everything. So the big stars of the voice acting world. So those are the ones that are a part of this union because they can afford to be. So yeah.
I don't know too much about it, so I don't know. Yeah.
Well, thanks for your insightful opinion. But back to
what's your opinion? You didn't give yours.
I was giving mine, and you
I'm sorry.
Yeah. So, like I said, on one hand, it's pretty cool for people who are up and coming voice actors, this is a great time to jump in there. They don't make enough money to be a part of this union, so they can. If I'm a voice actor up and coming, I can be like, hey, boom, there I am. I'm a part of it. I can make the wages that the other voice actors were doing. I can get my name out there.
What do you think about the actors that are complaining? What do you think? Should they be? Or?
No. It's funny. I think it should go one way or the other. Either no one gets residuals like they are now, or everyone gets residuals. And my worry about everyone getting residuals is there's not going to be enough money to support the game. Mm-hmm. So say this thing happens and the publishers cave and they start giving residual income to the developers and the voice actors, right? Or just say the voice actors, and then the developers aren't unionized, but they could possibly unionize and strike, and then no more games because the developers are like, these voice actors who contribute 10% of the game are making more money than we are. So yeah.
I would have more to say if I researched a little bit more. Kombat just told me like a day ago, so I can't comment too much on it.
Hey, can I continue my thing since you ain't got no
comment? No, I'm sorry. I'm trying to like. Okay. You made me forget. Never mind.
Sorry, guys. But what was I saying? Yeah. So either everybody gets residual income, developers and the voice actors, but then the game won't be able to make enough money to support itself. And the only way it would be able to support itself is maybe if they jack up the price of the game, which would suck for us. So maybe instead of a $60 game, it's an $80 game. Or they don't jack up the price, and then, a sequel's not inevitable because the game didn't make enough money or sell enough copies. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So anyway, I was thinking, I'm trying to see if I could recollect what I was thinking in my head before a comment cut me off. I was trying to see dang it was a good argument too. That I wanted, because as I said, I wanted to research more because I didn't know. I can't remember.
Okay. Sorry you cut me off for something you couldn't remember, but that's okay.
Yeah.
That's one hand. You know what I mean? Then the other hand is they don't pay any residuals to the voice actors, and then everything's kind of status quo, and these new opportunities come for these voice actors that haven't had a chance to actually get in there and do it. So, me personally, I think it would be better. I'm always an advocate for people who create games and visual effects and all that stuff to get their shine and their just to be paid fairly, because I don't think they do. They definitely don't. So I would like to have that, but realistically, I don't think that's how it's going to work. The whole structure of the gaming industry would have to change in order for that to work. So I don't know how this is going to happen or break down. And I think games like don't quote me on this, but I'm pretty sure that Mass Effect's being delayed and a few other games, really really big titles, are being delayed. I'm not sure about Destiny, but yeah, so it's a big mess. And
I think as long as they come up with a plan or a decision that works out for everyone, where they don't really cater to, I don't know if they're being greedy or whatever, I don't know the situation, but I think if they give enough money to the voice actors, developers, publishers, don't give them everything, but enough so that it's fair, then that should make everyone happy.
Yeah. And yeah, just I guess give some sort of residual, maybe 1% or something.
Yeah.
Because and their argument too was the actors, with voice actors, was video games make as much as movies now. They sell as much as movies, they make as much as movies. So that's where the whole argument of residuals come in. And if those games are making as much as movies, then I feel Random Girl's right. There should be something that they can give a little bit more to everybody to make it worthwhile. It'll be less out of the pockets of the publishers, but they're still gonna, make out like fat cats, Mm-hmm. So it's a tough thing to say. We don't. In movies, it's all about how much they earn in the box office, how much they earn this weekend and that weekend. On gaming, we don't really get a window into that world. We don't know what their financial is from weekend to weekend, mm-hmm. or from holiday to holiday or quarter to quarter. So
yeah, as long as their demands aren't unreasonable and it's some way where they can work with them, then hey, why not?
Yeah.
You know, the voice acting is great. You know, it fits the person that they animate or create. So hey, why not?
Yeah. My only fear is like they kind of choose somebody shoddy too that could backfire. Like I love Marcus Phoenix in Gears of War. I love his voice is just so Marcus Phoenix is so great, and it would suck if there was like a Gears of War 5 where Marcus was in it and then he sounds totally different, or some guy who can't quite get his voice down.
Yeah.
That would suck balls. But
all right.
Well, it would. I'm just saying it would. So I guess I could backfire getting a bunch of new people to do what has been done, you know. But I kind of feel like it would force everybody to come with new games.
Because voice actors like are amazing. Like as I said, I don't know like how much they get paid or if they're underpaid, or I know Kombat said they don't get paid much. So you know, voice actors I think are pretty amazing. I don't really think they get their due credit all the time. But it's like, oh yeah, great voice, and then they move on. But so yeah, if it's reasonable, then give them their residual. If it's not too crazy or out there, then why not?
Yeah, and another thing I want to slip in there too. The residuals for actors are ridiculous. It made me hate actors for a long time until I met some, and then I found they're not all bad. But the residual income for actors is thievery, it's robbery, it's unnecessary, to the point where they're giving so much away, and then you have these visual effects houses going out of business, or they're shipping stuff overseas because they can't afford to pay their rent, and they want to like Rhythm and Hues, perfect example. They've done so much. They won that Oscar or Grammy or whatever, and then they got For Life of Pi, and then they got they were talking about how they were going bankrupt, and they were, and I mean, and that movie made so much money. The actors were paid so well, the studio was paid so well, and they weren't paid anything, and they were going to go out of business. So that's how residuals are hurting Hollywood, and I would hate for that to be the same thing with gaming, where the residuals are so unevenly divided, or not even divided at all, because the visual effects guys, they don't get residuals for movies, only the actors do. So it would suck for that to be the case in the gaming industry if they do come to an agreement where they get as much as these movie actors like they want to. That would suck big time. So I mean, those are my feelings about it. On one hand,
yeah, for me, I say from what I learned, hey, go for it. They should get their residuals. That's what I think.
And me, I think that they shouldn't get the residuals. I don't think they should. I don't think it's fair. I think there's so many cons to it that it's just not worth it. And if they do, it should be a very minimal amount, and everybody should get residuals. So instead of, I don't know exactly what their demands are. I couldn't find that online anywhere. But if their demands is like, oh, I want 20% of what the movie makes, I believe maybe they should get 2%, and then all the developers get 2% as well. That way they're making more than they did before, and I mean 2% sounds like a little bit to you guys or for people out there listening, but I mean 2% of $1 million or $1 billion is a lot of money. So it's definitely more than they were making before, on top of what they were already being paid, and everyone gets a fair shake. So that's my 2 cents about it. But more importantly, what do you guys think? I know this podcast was a little short, but had to kind of talk about it, let you guys know what's going on if you didn't already. And as always, like, subscribe, and share. And until next time, y'all.
Bye, guys.
So long.